Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to The Burning Truth. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live, and I am your only host for this episode, which is I am the Funk Soul Brother, Matt Burns, also known as the British bad boy of British wrestling, as my colleague would normally say. You know, the man, the myth, the legend, Nathan Goff. Unfortunately, he's not with us today, as he's flying off abroad. Hope he gets plenty of sun and has plenty of fun. So with that mentioned, it's just me. So this might be a bit of a shorter episode than usual. Might not be as argumentative because there's only one of us. But if anybody wants to send in any messages to us, they're more than welcome to by going on to Spreaker, looking us up under The Burning Truth, and sending any messages. Or if they want to send in any messages through Facebook, Twitter, or anything, we are listening in. Well, I'm listening again for any questions or any topics you want us to cover. However, with that in mind, I've got to bring out some news from across the seas straight away, which is one of them being Chris Jericho. Wow, I will say, for somebody who was starting a online Twitter feud with Kenny Omega, what a way to trick us all. You basically started an argument that looked like it was going to get ramped up, and then you eased off a little bit, and then you've just literally hit on the pulse. In fact, and we've now officially can announce that at Wrestle Kingdom 12, we have got Chris Jericho versus Kenny Omega. And I can honestly say, I did not see that coming. It is truly a spectacle that, I've seen plenty of guests of people on Twitter using the outburst, looking at the camera and going, wow. It's something that has been a massive surprise, and it's amazing. It's going to be, which will be on January 4th, Tokyo Dome, New Japan Pro Wrestling. And they're actually hashtagging it as Alpha versus Omega. I can honestly say that is one match I will be very, very interested in watching, as I would say that is considered a dream match. And with the message of "See you there, Kenny Omega," it just states, this match could not be any bigger for New Japan Pro Wrestling. It's absolutely amazing what they've done, and I can also say, and I know one or two people who might be saying, why not just come out with it? Why not? Why just come out with it when they could take us on a roller coaster ride? What which they have. They've gone through the ups, they've gone through the downs, and now they've done the big reveal. Now we've got the anticipation of the wait. So right now we are waiting for that big match, which, as I've already stated, is January 4th, Tokyo Dome, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Alpha versus Omega. That news being dropped, we're now going to move to a certain company, where we could say it's TNA or Impact Wrestling, as it's officially announced at the moment, which is not GFW. Now this is for Bound for Glory, that is happening in Canada, most likely later on today, or early hours in the morning, Monday for the UK time. But this is the thing with this announcement. They can be known as GFW or Impact Wrestling. At the moment, I will refer to them as Impact Wrestling. However, for Bound for Glory, unfortunately, due to circumstances out of their control, the match between Tara Valkyrie versus Rosemary has been cancelled. This is due to circumstances out of their control, with Taya being unable to perform due to personal reasons. The reasons hasn't been stated as of yet. However, if I'm not mistaken, Tara has stated that she will make an announcement, with possibly post a video, just to clear up what's gone on. And she's actually released a statement on Twitter saying, "I'll post a video this afternoon and chat with all of you to say I'm disappointed is an understatement. I'm devastated, but I will be back in January." So with that, we've got, unfortunately, a match down. So the company could either be looking for a replacement match, or that could actually end up giving more time to other matches. The only way we'll know for sure is when the show airs. We will see how that goes. At this moment, so with that announcement being clarified, that is the Bound for Glory news that has just been revealed today. Also, in other news, this is across the seas. John Cena is promoting upcoming movie, which not many people realise he's actually in Daddy's Home 2, which goes into theatres next week. I think that's in America, potentially. He is actually starring in Daddy's Home 2, which also stars Will Ferrell, Mark Wahlberg, and whatnot. So it's a sequel of the movie. So that'll be it. So he's just doing a few the rounds sort of to promote the movie. Moving on from that, seeing as John Cena is a WWE guy, we'll stay on WWE at the moment in time, which is Triple H. We'll move to Triple H, shall we? Right, at this moment in time, Triple H today has done something quite surprising. He has made an appearance at a UK independent show in Cardiff for ICW. I will say that's big news, as the announcement was made. At first, it looked like it was, it was just unbelievable how it was done. A lot of people didn't expect it when it would say Triple H come out here by Mark Dallas. A few people heard the music playing. They were like, "Is it really him? Is it really him?" He stepped out. The crowd just went absolutely ballistic. It's unbelievable. It's big news. It also shows that the WWE are very much willing to work with ICW. And during that segment, you've got Pete Dunne, the WWE UK champion, in the ring with Mark Dallas. And I can honestly say, it is absolutely astounding that they've done this. However, the Glasgow-based promotion has been working with WWE throughout, and hopefully, since the UK Championship tournament back in January, it's amazing the steps that they've been making. And like ICW has posted, anything can happen on an ICW show, with Triple H and Pete Dunne being arrived there for ICW Fight Club. So that's amazing news as well. We've also got potential that WWE is fueling a bit of speculation for Lesnar versus Balor. Well, Finn Balor. I'm just as I'm doing this, I'm basically trying, see if they're going to have a good showdown. It does look like there has been hints being thrown that they are going to be doing it for the Universal Championship. However, it's not going to be happening at the upcoming pay-per-view, as we've currently got the Universal Champion to take on Jinder Mahal at Survivor Series. That is if Jinder Mahal keeps the championship by defeating AJ Styles this week on SmackDown. So that's some interesting news. So the question is, are we going to be having AJ Styles versus The Beast, or are we going to be having Jinder Mahal versus The Beast? There's only one way to tell, is by literally watching it, and that's what I would recommend anybody to do. Right. So with all that news being released and everything, we're now going to move straight across to the UK scene. The major reason why this broadcast right now is happening now is because last night myself and my colleague Nathan Goth were actually at the Academy Wrestling for Remember the 4th of November, which we're not going to mention any of the results or any spoilers at the moment until either the Academy have released them themselves, and also we are going to be writing a review. And before anybody does state, yes, we do actually owe a review for the previous show for the Academy, which was Over and Out. However, that will be getting done as well at the same time, but when we will be revealing them potentially could be involved in a nice little surprise that we have got in store for yourselves for next week. So more on that next week. Also at a company that both myself and Nathan Goth have been attending. Unfortunately, we couldn't attend last night due to our commitments to the Academy, as we agreed that we would be there. Which was Wolf and Pro, the final of the championship tournament for to crown their first ever WPW champion was crowned last night, and I have to give a massive congratulations to the Bouncer, who actually won it in the finals by beating the Judge. So congratulations, Bouncer, on being the first ever WPW champion. So with that, folks, like I said, this was going to be a very quick episode. Less, that's due to there's less arguments being announced. But just before I shoot off, I will just state that my colleague Nathan, while he was potentially flying, made a announcement on our Facebook page, which is for Jerry Ryan. Jerry Ryan and his penis won the Hood Slam Intergalactic Tag Team titles. And the biggest shocker of it is the gender of Jerry's penis. It's female. Now, I will state, this was very unexpected. Didn't see it coming. But when it's not as dirty as it sounds, just to point that out. It's somebody dressed up in a certain costume, but they had a different way of doing certain moves together that was quite comical. So that is something you'll have to look into potentially if you're interested in it. So with that news being dropped and everything, I think that would be a pretty good time to wrap up this, I'd say, short episode, due to my colleague being flying away, and I'm doing this quite solo by myself. I know you're all singing all by yourself. Cheers for that. But with that in mind, this is a nice time to wrap up the show. So with that, I'd like to send out our, basically our plugs, our feeds, cheap plugs and everything, which is, as usual, we send out them to Team 4 Star, who is always cranking out great content and everything. We would like to, they continue to pump out almost content every week, which is always interesting, different, and unique. So please check that out. Matthew of Botchamania, please check him out. As always with his Botchamania, because the man always finds the the latest botches and everything, and still makes it so interesting after so many episodes. I'm going to give a shout out to the UK Wrestle Fan Zone and the UKWA that do actually attend most shows that we attend to as well, and they do some fantastic photos, help us out with interviews and everything. So a big shout out to them. I'm going to be doing a shout out to Healthy Minds. For Healthy Minds, we recommend you check out Changes UK. For, if anybody, you don't have to have issues yourself or anything. You can just look into it just for research purposes. Maybe someone needs some help that you've noticed or anything. It's always for a good cause. We do recommend you check it out, and I will always recommend a band that a friend of mine actually is the plays for, which is the New Breed as well. So, and just as another quick cheap plug, as well as, which is basically for myself, which is next week, United Wrestling. United Wrestling has got its next show next week, which normally is normally the last Friday of the month, usually. However, due to date clashes, if I'm not mistaken, the date actually originally changed on the last show twice. So instead of it being the usual date, it will be on the 10th of November, and that will be in Abbey Alton. Abbey Alton at the Suburban Club. So we do recommend you give that a check out next week. So I think that's a nice time to wrap up right now. So with that, stay well, stay safe, and hopefully I will probably hear from you, or you'll hear from me at the next broadcast, the next review, or next interview. So stay safe, stay well. Catch you next week.